Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. South Korea's Framework Act on Artificial Intelligence law has come into effect. Starting Thursday, the country becomes the first in the world to fully enforce a comprehensive legal AI regulatory framework. If an AI system is used in critical fields, like healthcare, energy, hiring, or loan approvals, it faces strict oversight. Operators must have human managers in the loop and report their safety measures to the government. Companies must now clearly label AI-generated content, including through tools like watermarking, so users know what they are looking at. But startups and smaller firms also argue that complying with these complex safety and labeling rules requires money and manpower they just don't have. The Ministry of Science and ICT says it will suspend fines and investigations for at least 1 year. South Korea's real gross domestic product saw a rise of 1% last year, matching preliminary central bank estimates. According to data released Thursday by the Bank of Korea, real GDP grew 1.5% year-on-year in the fourth quarter of 2025, a drop of 0.3% from Q3, reflecting modest economic expansion amid mixed sector performance. On the expenditure side, exports continue to grow, while private consumption and government spending both expanded. However, the decline in construction investment deepened, weighing on overall growth. On the production side, service sector growth strengthened, but manufacturing growth slowed, and construction activity contracted further. Meanwhile, real gross domestic income increased 1.7%, slightly outpacing GDP growth. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos on Wednesday, U.S. President Donald Trump signaled a major shift in his controversial push to bring Greenland under U.S. control, saying military force would not be an option, and his case would be pressed diplomatically. Trump reiterated his belief that Greenland, a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark, must fall under U.S. control for global and U.S. security. At the same time, Trump announced that he was canceling the planned round of tariffs on 8 European countries that oppose his proposal for Greenland, which entailed a 10% tariff starting February 1st, with rates rising to 25% by June if no deal was reached on what he called a complete U.S. purchase of Greenland. The decision followed talks with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, which Trump described as highly productive. Iranian state television has admitted for the first time that security forces killed more than 3,000 people during recent anti-government protests. Iranian state TV on Wednesday issued its first official death toll from recent protests through statements by the Interior Ministry and Iran's Martyrs Foundation. It said 3,117 people were killed, adding that 2,427 of the dead were civilians and security forces, without detailing the rest. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned in a Wall Street Journal op-ed that Iran will fire back with everything we have if it faces attack, as the U.S. Navy is currently moving the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group toward the Middle East. Korean music label HYBE's U.S.-based girl group Katseye is set to perform at the 2026 Grammy Awards as a Best New Artist nominee. The group is among 8 nominees set to take the stage at the ceremony on February 1st at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, according to the Recording Academy, the organization behind the Grammys, on Wednesday U.S. time. Formed through HYBE's global audition project Dream Academy, Katseye debuted in the U.S. in 2024 and gained attention after entering Billboard's Hot 100. The group recently released its new single, Internet Girl. The Academy said additional performers will be announced later. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.